Hi, a very good morning. So we had to postpone yesterday's live session today, right? So today we'll be having a general discussion, and the topic for today's discussion is survival of the fittest, right? So that's the topic which we have chosen today, and we'll be discussing about one personality who has contributed immensely to science, right? So yeah, just one second. So before we start, so how is your week so far? So let me know if you have any issues with streaming. Hi Abhishek, hi Shrish, hello Pooja, Anu, Neetu, Saida, Nidhi, hi Ramesh, hi Rohan, hi, a very good morning. Yeah. I think it's better if I say this side. Right. Okay. Hi Preetika, a very good morning. Right, so we'll start with today's topic and then we'll have some general Okay, we'll just take 2 minutes, right? And then we'll proceed. We also have chief guests today. We have three chief guests today. So we'll invite them to our platform after our discussion, okay? So it's really difficult to control them, but once we complete our discussion, then maybe we can invite them and we'll again have interaction because so far I've introduced you only two guests. So this time we have a third guest also joining us. Yes, Saida. Yes, Pooja. Good morning. Right. So today we're going to discuss about a personality who is an English natural scientist who laid down a framework for theory of evolution showing how man or woman evolved from lower life forms. He is none other than Charles Darwin. So Charles Darwin 1809 to 1882. At the time, his research and publications led a bitter controversy during the times where there was like more people were more religious and less scientific temper was there in the society. At that time, his thoughts and his research was totally against the norm. It was like in a different direction altogether compared to the conditioned societal reflexes. And you know what? Even after his extensive studies and research, he was afraid to publish his studies, and he didn't really want to publish his findings for more than 20 years. And after 20 or 22 years, because of some inspiration from the other guy, other researcher, he finally decided to publish his findings also. And we have that book, Origin of Species, if you remember, right? So, at the time, his research and publication led to bitter controversy, but his theory of evolution and natural selection later became accepted within scientific community. And the reason why we have chosen this topic today is the core of the entire discussion will be like survival of fittest. So, what does it mean? By the way, the term survival of fittest was not coined by Charles Darwin. It's coined by Herbert Spencer, as we all know, right? But this is all relevant. So, natural selection is a process where when an organism does better than its competitors or than its contemporaries, obviously it's going to have an edge over others, isn't it? So the entire discussion is like we'll try to focus on what's this survival of fittest and how relevant is it in the modern times. It's not just about evolution. If we talk even the competition we have or the perceptions we have or how people have success or why do people have failure, so isn't that all about survival of fittest? So that's the reason why we have chosen this topic today, and let's see, and in the process we'll try to understand what's this natural selection in brief and what is this theory of evolution and how when you come up with an idea or with your own perception, how this society subdues you. As we discussed in the last live session also about Nikola Tesla, where he says the present is theirs, but the future for which I really worked is mine. So the kind of effort which we put in is definitely going to have an impact on people, not if not present, but maybe in future. So let's go through his autobiography in brief and let's see what we can learn, right? So just give me a few minutes. I need to make a small adjustment here and then we'll proceed with today's discussion, right? Yeah. I've just given a warning to my wife and asked her not to enter into my room again. Okay, right. Yeah. Oh. Hi Arindram. Saida's birthday today? Okay. Wish you a happy birthday, Saida. So may you dream big, huge, and I hope you will fulfill all your dreams, right? I hope you'll work hard towards your dreams. You'll work smart, work hard, and work for your dreams. But before that, I request you or I appeal you to dream big. It's my suggestion. So always dream big. And as I say, there are no real physical barriers in this world. There are only psychological barriers. So dream big and try reaching your dreams or fulfilling your dreams, right? Wish you all the best, and once again a very very happy birthday, not only from my side but from all our friends who are live. Okay, happy birthday. Hi Pooja, a very good morning. Hi Sirisha. Yes, Ashina. Hi Muhammad. Hi Firas. Hello, I think we're hearing from you for the first time. Hi Shivani, a very good morning. You're welcome, Saida. Right. So we'll just proceed with today's topic. So as I said, today we're going to discuss about an English natural scientist who laid down a framework for theory of evolution, showing how man or woman evolved from lower forms. And at the time his research, he's none other than Charles Darwin. At the time, his research and publication led to bitter controversy, but his theory of evolution and natural selection later became accepted within the scientific community. Because, as we discussed previously also, opinions are stupid, but facts are sacred, isn't it? So ultimately, facts are going to win and they will be accepted, if not now, at least later, right? So Charles Darwin was born on 12th Feb 1809 in Shrewsbury, Shropshire, and he was born into a wealthy and influential family. His grandfathers included China manufacturers. They were great, they were very wealthy and they were manufacturers, famous manufacturers at that time. And his grandfathers included Josiah Wedgwood and Erasmus Darwin, one of the leading intellectuals of 18th century England. And Darwin planned to study medicine at Edinburgh University, but later, at the instigation of his father, changed to studying divinity at Christ's College, Cambridge University. He was a priest. He was undergoing training for becoming a priest. Darwin was not a great student, preferring to spend time in outdoor pursuits, and he spent a lot of time examining natural science and beetle collecting. So beetle leaves, you have this palm beetle, right? So that was like craze that was trending at that time. So he was like on to that beetle collection and examining natural science. After gaining a passionate interest in natural science, Darwin was offered a place on HMS Beagle to act as a natural scientist on a voyage to the coast of South America. HMS Beagle is a ship. It's a kind of ship. It's not exactly a ship, but it's a kind of modified ship. So you can just find out the more information on HMS Beagle in Wikipedia. And he was offered a place as a natural scientist on that ship on a voyage to the coast of South America, and that was defining. It redefined the entire history of mankind. In the sense, based on his observations there, we might have heard of these finch birds and hummingbirds. We have these different species. He had collected many specimens out there, and then from there he started gaining these ideas, and ultimately they were all published later. At the time, religion was a powerful force in society, and most people took Bible as infallible, which is literal word of God. This included the belief that God created the world in 7 days and the world was only a few thousand years old. However, on the voyage, Darwin increasingly began to see evidence of life which is much more older. In particular, Lyell's principles of geology suggested that fossils were evidence of animals living hundreds of thousands of years ago. And on the voyage, Darwin made copious notes about specimens he found on his voyages, and in particular at the Galapagos Islands, 500 miles west of South America. Darwin was struck by how the finch, a bird, finch was different on each individual island. And he noticed that the finch had somehow adapted to the various aspects of the particular island. So depending upon the environment, so depending upon the external factors there, he could identify finch birds which are having different kind of morphological features, so which suits the particular environment in that particular island. And over the next 20 years, remember it's not 1 or 2, 20 years, Darwin worked on the dilemma of how species evolve and can end up being quite different on different islands. And influenced by the work of Malthus, Darwin came up with a theory of natural selection and gradual evolution over time. And Darwin quotes, "In the struggle for survival, the fittest win out at the expense of their rivals because they succeed in adapting themselves best in their environment." So this is the core for today's discussion. And Darwin said, and I quote, "In the struggle for survival, the fittest win out at the expense of their rivals because they succeed in adapting themselves best in that given environment." And Darwin continued to refine his theory and would intensively breed plans to work on his theories. However, realizing how controversial his ideas were, Darwin delayed publishing them. So he didn't have that guts to publish initially because he knew how controversial, because it's all against to say Bible, or it's all against what's given in a specific book, right? So according to that book, it's like a world has been created in 7 days. So that was like the norm in the society. Everyone believed it, have taken Bible as the word of God. But because of his ideas, his ideas were like in a different path altogether. So he was afraid to publish his ideas. And it was not until learning that another naturalist, Alfred Russel Wallace, had developed similar ideas that Darwin was galvanized into publishing his own book. So out of competition again, he was instigated, and again he was inspired, instigated, whatever. And then he got the courage and he started publishing his work. And his book, Origin of Species, 1859. Owing to this struggle for life, any variation, however slight and from whatever cause proceeding, if it be in any degree profitable to an individual of any species, in its infinitely complex relationship to other organic beings and to external nature, will tend to preserve that individual and will generally be inherited by its offspring. So it's the exact words which were mentioned in his book Origin of Species. So according to this, he says if there is any slight variation because of the external factors, and if that variation is beneficial for that individual species, so obviously individual of that species, obviously it will be inherited by the offspring, because that variation is very much necessary for the survival of those organisms in a species. However, by the time he died on 19th April 1882, his ideas had increasingly become accepted. So by the time he died, so not during his lifetime, at least by the scientific and not religious community. And he was given a state burial at Westminster Abbey, UK, right? And Darwin's religious beliefs. Darwin was brought up in Church of England at one point, and at one point was being trained to become a priest. So as I said, he was instigated by his father, so it had to take up his course in Cambridge University, even though he had that liking for medicine. Like many of his generation, he took the Bible as the literal word of God and often quoted it as a source of moral authority. However, after his epic voyage to South America, so as I said, we have this HMS Beagle, he was offered a role of natural scientist. That journey changed his perception, changed his way of thinking based on his observation. And like many of his generation took Bible as little word of God. And however, after his epic voyage to South America, he became doubtful of the Bible as a source of history. He also felt no reason why all religions couldn't be true. And from 1849, he stopped going to church, though he never considered himself to be an atheist. He felt that agnostic suited his beliefs more closely. So he considered himself as an agnostic. Okay, I'm sorry. So we got used to this antagonist, so I'm using the same word, agnostic. So we have atheist and agnostic. Atheist is a non-believer of God, whereas agnostic is who is not really sure whether God exists or not, right? So, however, as I said, after his voyage, his perception changed, and he wrote in his autobiography that he eventually gave up Christianity as he disagreed with the conclusion that all non-believers spend eternity in hell. And he says, and I quote, "I can indeed hardly see how anyone ought to wish Christianity to be true. For if so, the plain language of the text seems to show that the men who do not believe, and this would include my father, brother, and almost all my best friends, will be everlastingly punished." So that's his personal opinions, right? If any one of you belong to Christianity or any political community, there is nothing to feel bad. It's the view of Darwin, right? But see, the intention here is not blame one religion. The intention of this session is to understand the perception of this great contributor, a scientist, a natural scientist who has contributed immensely to our understanding, right? He can have his own personal views. I can have my own personal views, but I request everyone not to take it in a negative way, right? So it's the core, as I said, it's all about survival of the fittest, which is the natural process that has been happening for thousands of years together. And he was politically liberal, being an opponent of slavery. Okay, that's all his political views. And there are few facts about Charles Darwin. He was the grandson of Josiah Wedgwood, the famous furniture manufacturer, as I said. He studied medicine at University of Edinburgh, but found lectures very dull and boring. He learned taxidermy from Edmond Strachan, a freed black slave. Darwin became an enthusiastic beetle collector, which was trending or craze at that time. His father sent him to Christ's College, Cambridge, with the intention of training him as an Anglican parson. He later gave up Christianity, and his 5-year voyage on HMS Beagle established him as an eminent geologist and popular writer, and his observations would be used to develop his theory of evolution. And he sometimes questioned his own scientific discoveries. And he says, and I quote, "I feel most deeply that this whole question of creation is too profound for human intellect." And in modified form, Darwin's theory of evolution is now seen as the unifying theory of life sciences. And on the New Galapagos Islands, Darwin saw many samples of animals which showed relations to animals in other parts of the world. Example, mockingbirds in Chile. And during the Beagle expedition, Darwin shipped home a total of 1529 species preserved in spirit and 3,907 labeled dried specimens. So he was a voracious observer. He has this great gift of observation, right, which is very much essential for any scientist or for any science student for that matter. And the first thing which our geology teacher said when we were in +1 and +2 is the greatest gift or the greatest feature any science student or any scientist could ever possess is observation. So observation skills are very much keen and very much important for any science student, for all of us, right? Isn't it? And Darwin and Wallace's theories on evolution were both presented on the same day in 1858 to the Linnean Society of London. And Darwin took 22 years from the end of voyage to publish his findings, and he was worried about the reaction of people. It is said that the thought of Wallace publishing first galvanized him into action. And the full title of Origin of Species is, so we have a book Origin of Species, but the original title is On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, or Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle for Life. And Darwin did not coin the term survival of fittest. It was added to the 5th edition of Origin of Species, and the phrase was coined by Herbert Spencer. And Darwin has appeared on more UK stamps than anyone outside royal family. And 7 months after publication of Origin of Species, the famous 1860 Oxford evolution debate occurred between Thomas Huxley and Bishop Samuel. The debate is considered to be a great moment in natural history and a key moment in the acceptance of evolution. 7 months after the publication of his book. So this is about the autobiography of Charles Darwin. And in the struggle for survival, fittest win out at the expense of their rivals because they succeed in adapting themselves best in the given environment. So that's the core for today's discussion, right? So survival of fittest, it's not just about, we say we have this competition and all, we feel stressed and we feel like how can we really make it out, but that's been the norm of our nature. It's not that we have chosen a particular place in the society. It's been the norm. We're just players on this planet, isn't it? We just come. So it's like we have to face it, right? So there is nothing like we cannot be. If you think that we have to escape this and we have to be on the safe side, then it's against nature's law. Then we're not going to survive longer. So survival of fittest is not just about the natural process of selection, but it's also, take for example your exam, or take for example how you perform comparatively when you compare yourself with others. So how do you consider, or why do you consider a person to be successful, or why do you consider a person to be failure, or why do you consider a person to be a mediocre range? So this is all comparative analysis based on one's performance with respect to others, right? So it's all about survival of fittest, the best you adapt to the given environment. Let's take our exam for example. In this context, we have NEET exam, so we have these conditions like, see, the time is the same. It's the same for you, it's the same for me, it's the same for any outsider who is not even giving an exam, but our perception changes, right? So in that given environment, in that given situation, how well are we adapting ourselves, how well we are able to cope up the stress, and how well we are able to make use of time to the maximum extent possible. So these are the factors which are going to enable us to achieve success, and that we call it as survival of fittest, obviously, right? So this is just like a pilot study. So no matter what project we take up in our life, no matter how situations are going to be in future, but this has been the norm of the nature. So it's been only when you adapt yourself to the environment, as I said, only when you are capable of adjusting to the given environment, then you're going to achieve success. And that's obvious, that happens obviously, and you need not really run behind success. So it's all about suiting or changing your mindset and making sure that you are in line with your situations which are around you, and that really gives you a lot of energy and confidence in the process. If you feel like you're unable to study, if you feel like you're finding situations tough, then obviously you need to take a break. That has to be there. So when you take a break, you feel like refreshed, then you can come back on the track. But remember, this survival of fittest, or as we keep on saying, NEET exam is all about comparative analysis, and as we've seen the psychometric analysis, it's like how far you do, like how better you do compared to others. So it all depends upon how well you adjust to your present environment. So that's going to make a huge change in one's life, right? And the entire core for today's discussion, it's not about a religion, like which religion is good or which religion says a bad thing. No, it's nothing like that. Ultimately, the purpose of all religions, as you all know, it's to promote unity, peace, harmony among every one of us, right? So whatever we discussed regarding the perceptions, the political or the religious perceptions of Charles Darwin. It's his individual perception, right? So as I said, the core for today's discussion is survival of fittest. So you want to do better, you want to master, you want to be successful in life. It's all about you adjusting to the environment, given environment you have, and obviously you're going to succeed. And that's the rule of nature. You need not really do something extra. It's all about adjusting to your surroundings and making sure that you're able to cope up with all the factors which are around you, and that ensures success, right? So that's a natural process, isn't it? So this is what we wanted to focus in today's live session, and I hope it's of some use for you. So keep a thought on this, on the discussion we had, and definitely it's going to have a positive influence on your preparation, right? So once again, very happy birthday to Saida, and may God bless you if you believe in God, or if you believe in nature, may nature bless you. And as I said, dream big, and that's the only suggestion which I give, because I got this inspiration from, see, I have no belief in God. I'm an atheist, but if at all there is any God, I feel like Jaiprakash Narayan, he is a Lok Satta party founder. I consider him as God, and I am his devotee or follower, whatever it is, and I get inspiration from him. And it's that person who had made a lot of positive influence in my life, personal life as well as professional life. And he says, always dream big, always dream big. So at least dreaming, no one is going to restrict you. Oh, don't dream this way, or don't dream. You have that freedom to dream big, and always try to chase your dreams. And it's possible only when you have this grit. So we have this character called as grit. Just Google it, you'll find out what grit is. Grit is all about having that intention, having the right intention to achieve anything which you want. You want to do something good, something positive for yourself and for the people around you, then that's going to have a tremendous influence not only on your personal life but also in people who are around you, and you will ultimately remain a source of inspiration to everyone. And that in fact creates a kind of positive way which flows and flows and flows, and that gives you an immense satisfaction at the end of the day, right? So we'll stop it here. We'll just have some introduction from our guests also. So they have been eagerly waiting outside, so we'll just call them here and we'll try to have some fun, and we'll have a general discussion. If you have any general questions, you can just post them here. And I hope today's live session is of some use for you, and it's all about survival of fittest. Yeah, just give me 1 second. Yeah, here we have so we have our first guest. Here is our first guest who is ready to dance. Yeah, Tiger. Let me just pan my cam down so that you can watch them. Yeah, here you have Tiger. Say hi. Tiger, say hi. Okay, here we have our second guest who is so lazy to wake up. Stop attacking him. Here we have our second guest, and our third guest is outside and he'll be joining us soon. So this is our Toffee, and this is our Bojo, our third guest. It's really difficult to control this fellow. He's too big. Let me just show you. Toffee, 1 second. This is our Bojo. So his name is Bojo. Toffee Oknish. Okay. So he is like a tsunami. He is like a tufan. It's very difficult to control this guy. Soumya?
Yeah.
Take this one. Okay, right. Thanks. Yeah. So it's really very much challenging to control that guy. So we just pushed him outside. So we have a Toffee and Tiger, two cute fellows. So he's been dancing. So these two are best friends now. So first there was like they were fighting against, but now they are really good friends. And he is my personal favorite. So we had him for the past 1 year, and also I showed him in one of the videos, temporary restorative materials of endo, some topic. So he was very tiny and cute, but now he has grown up a lot and is more than 5 to 6 kgs now. He's very, he has increased his weight. Say hi, Toffee. Okay, let us just show your face to everyone. Yeah. They're going to push the tripod, I guess. Okay, right. So that's it. So that's the introduction we had today, right? Yeah. So that's the reason why I've chosen to sit on floor, so that we can have these guys. We can have these guys here. Toffee, come here. Toffee. Yeah. So have any questions, or you would like to share anything in general? So let's have some discussion, right? So Toffee has been observing everything. You can just look at him. He's been observing everything. Toffee. And this guy is dancing. This guy is calling. This guy is calling him, if you can see. Okay. So every morning they'll be so active, not just morning, but whole day. But morning it's like they're very much active and they'll be dancing. I think he's practicing swimming. Okay, attack. Now they'll have some fight. They'll have some fun. Hey. Okay. Right. Yeah, I'm sorry. By mistake, I had locked the phone. Right. Hi Niharika, a very good morning. Arindam, it's a mini pom. A Pomerian, it's a mini pom. And Toffee is Lhasa. Toffee, it's Lhasa Apso. And Bojo is Beagle. You've seen that huge dog, it's a Beagle. So this black one, Toffee, is Lhasa Apso. And Tiger, it's a mini pom. Upper left, it's one. Yeah. Yes, Kanishka. I often forget these names. Lhasa Apso, I try to remember it, but somehow I'll forget. Yeah. Yes, Bernice, thank you. Kanishka, they're not ferocious. In fact, they're very mild, but that Beagle is a bit ferocious comparatively. Hi, Mini. Good morning. Devna is 3 dogs. Yeah, survival of the fittest. Obviously, we see if you compare. We have this Beagle, Bojo, Tiger, and Toffee. Among these 3, whom do you think will have more more control over the others? So we assume that it's Beagle, right? But it's not Beagle. It's Lhasa Apso. You know, it's mentioned that if you just Google out Lhasa Apso, these breeds have more anger. I mean, they feel more irritated often, and they have more anger. So ultimately, and moreover, it's a I don't have any, and I see nothing against females or males, but it's a female. So it wants everything, and it will not accept if it doesn't like. And moreover, it's Lhasa Apso, so it has this aggression kind of behavior. They're aggressive. Lhasa Apsos by nature they're aggressive. So obviously it has this. You have what you say, survival of fittest. So obviously it has an upper hand. I'm sorry. She has an upper hand. Minipom, see, they're in fact playing. So Minipom tends to have, I mean, it seems like Minipom is having an upper hand, but they're just playing for time being. Okay, yeah. It's not like females, but I feel like Bojo, it's male. Maybe it's because of the difference in breed, I guess. It's not, it has nothing to do about sex, male or female, as far as I know. But I was just kidding previously. But Lhasa Apsos are more aggressive comparatively. Sirisha, I'm sorry I missed your comment. Sir, I always take inspiration from people around me. Generally, these days you have become my inspiration. The efforts you put for PTP really inspires me daily. Thank you so much, Sirisha. I'm glad to hear that. And thank you for your love and affection. Sirisha. So, Tiger, we have good morning. You have good morning from all our friends. You can just say good morning, Tiger. Come on. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, right. Maybe introvert you mean to say? Okay, right. Kanishka, who got cavities? I mean, Tiger or Lhasa Apso? I haven't really checked because they never give you a chance to check. If you try to place or if you try to observe, they'll just bite you. No, this is not the surprise. In fact, I was planning. So I'll let you know, right? These are our chief guests for today. Okay, Kanishka, yes, dogs, I don't say better than humans, but yes, humans also, we have good humans, but yes, dogs do show unconditional love. Yes, I do agree with that. Silence. Okay. Okay, Bernice, you have a female pug. Nice. Rhythmic sound. Yes, we have this wooden floor here, so you have this sound. Is it like disturbance for you? Just let me, I'll just push them out. Okay. Yes, you say she has upper hand. Good to hear that after all female, right? Kanishka, females ferocious. In fact, Dad had told me once all species except human males are more beautiful and females ferocious and workaholic. Okay. Okay, Dev, now you have female dog with 1 month old puppy. Good. Yeah, we have this wooden floor, so you have this kind of sound. I mean, they have these nails, so it will be like to some extent okay, but continuous sounds it will be more irritating. Toffee, look, you can just look at how she is dominating. Toffee. Tiger. Tiger. You can see? Yeah, how it is woman handling. Okay, Saidu, you run away from dogs, but definitely you have a puppy, you will know. I mean, you'll have this kind of good feeling the moment you, I mean, if you love them, or even though if you don't have that liking, eventually you'll develop that in the process. They're so lovable, as one of you rightly said. They have this unconditional love, and it will be a wonderful feeling. The moment you look at them, you'll have that kind of happiness, which is like superb, an excellent kind of feeling. Okay, Neetu, we have two rabbits, Snow and Snow. Toffee, stop it. Come on. Come on, Toffee. Come on, Toffee. Okay, take rest. Take rest. Now this guy is attacking him. Come. Come on. Okay? Yeah. Of course. Right. So this is what we wanted to discuss today. It's all about survival of fittest, right? It seems to be why we have this tendency, but it's a natural process. It's not like a kind of competition which we are creating for ourselves. But obviously, when you have this task, when you're doing a task, then obviously we have this kind of competition, and only the fittest will survive. Fittest in the sense, it's not just physical fitness, but also how psychologically we control ourselves, and how we carry ourselves forward with a lot of positivity, hope, and how we adjust to our environment, and how we adapt ourselves to the environment, right? So all these factors do play a role, and it's fittest means not just physical fitness, but all factors combined, and obviously they're going to survive any task, any competition, or for that matter, it's a natural process, as we have discussed. And that's a beautiful statement we have from Darwin. In the struggle for survival, the fittest win out at the expense of the survivals, because they succeed in adapting. You see this guy? They succeed in adapting to the given environments. Okay, right. No, not yet. Ashina, not yet. Yeah, Rishi. Okay, Toffee, you have hi from Rishi. You just see. Toffee. Hey, Toffee. It's really different. You know, it's really different. Yes, Rishi, hi, very good morning. Obeying, Mini, no, they are just acting because it's live. Maybe they are acting in front of cam, but behind cam, you can see that's the scenario here. No, they won't bite. See, they don't bite humans, first of all, unless and until they are very much irritated. Maybe it happens, but usually they don't bite. We have been having dogs for the past 20 years, 25 years, and never such thing has happened. Yes, of course, we bite. Yeah. Yeah, Kanishka, endo videos are good. Glad to hear that, Kanishka. Thank you for the feedback. Definitely, we'll have more lectures on endo topic as well. Hey, Toffee! Stop making sound. Stop! Come here. It's acting because it is in front of camera. This guy is acting. Because it's in front of camera. Hey, Tiger! Okay. Definitely, Kanishka, will have more lectures, right? Okay, Rishi, you have a German Shepherd and you also raised a Rottweiler. Good. I think it's very challenging to raise them, right? I mean, do they listen to what you say, or are they gentle, or are they more aggressive? Okay. Right. So you have anything to share? I'll be just online for another few minutes. So it's 45 minutes. I'll stay for another 15 minutes live. Neetu, management of fractures and classification oral surgery. Sir, can you please discuss? Yeah, Neetu, we have oral surgery and general surgery next week. We'll definitely consider this topic. Yes, Rishi. Yeah, dogs are always gentle and loyal. Yes. Exactly. Yeah, it looks like a soft toy. In fact, it's a toy. And this is another toy we have. Okay, he's showing his clearer light. Yeah. Kanishka, GSD, I didn't get it. I've seen that previously. I didn't understand. What does it mean, GSD? You welcome, Neetu. Yeah, right. Okay, right. So we'll just summarize all that we discussed so far for 5 minutes, and then we'll conclude. Right? We'll just break. Yeah, he's so playful. Hey, tiger, stop. So when I shout, he comes to me again. Okay, enough. So it's all about, as we discussed, it's all about survival of fittest, right? So to understand this concept, so we have this book called Species. Hey, Toffee, silence. Silence, I said. Okay, German Shepherd. Okay, fine. I got it. Yeah. So as we keep on saying, see, exams as exams have been approaching, so we have around 50 days. Till November 1st week. Okay, let's just give me 2 minutes, right? We'll just send them outside and then we can have discussion. Chalo. Okay, right. Okay, so we have these exams, we have another 50 days maximum. So we counted days yesterday, and also we released one new batch. We have a new batch from 20th, a revision batch. So till November 1st week, it's around 50 days. So make sure that you revise, you plan properly, and see that you complete off at once all the subjects within these 2 months time, or maybe 1.5 month time, because this is very crucial, as I have already mentioned in yesterday's video. So no matter how much effort you have put in so far, no matter how much hard work you have committed yourself to all these months, it's all about revision. So how can you comprehend, or how can you comprehensively cover all the subjects you have studied so far? So that plays a very key role. So make sure that you focus on revision once again, all the topics, and also those topics which you're not familiar with, or which you find difficult to memorize. So you can focus on them for these 15, 20 or maximum 30 days, and final 10-15 days it has to be only and only revision. So it's better if you have started your preparation in Jan or last year, or maybe this year Jan, Feb or March, then I think you would have completed most of your syllabus, and this is an ideal time to start your revision. So September ending, October and November, dedicate completely for revision. Also we have this schedule, you can just check out, or if you want any details you can drop a mail, we'll send you the details, right? So remember, till now it's like one side of the coin. From now it's all about how you control your emotions, how you will be able to focus on your preparation. See, the stress levels seem to be increasing, which is in fact not. We have this psychological kind of feeling that exams are approaching us. That's true, but that's only psychological. If you can manage your way of thinking, if you can manage your perception, and if you can adapt yourself to the surroundings, like for example, You have, as I say, environment plays a crucial role. You should have an environment where you can dedicate yourself, where you will not have any kind of disturbance from external factors, right? So along with that, a family support, and most importantly, intrinsic motivation that yes, you can do it. All these factors play a very important role. So adapt properly to the given environment. Don't take it as a stress, but rather take it as a challenge and focus on preparation. The only thing you should have in your mind right now is how to reach top 1 position. So that when you have that kind of enormous, wonderful, and this colorful kind of target, then obviously you're going to work for it. Don't underestimate your potential. See, human potential, it's untapped. So you know what, you can cross boundaries. There are no physical barriers, as I keep on saying. Human potential is enormous, and we can fulfill and we can realize that potential only when we keep ourselves to test, only when we challenge ourselves, and only when we go to the extremes, and that's possible only when you believe in yourself, right? So don't assume that okay, if I pass or if I qualify, that's enough. No, at least when you have a target, it should be of number 1 target. So make sure that your target is getting first rank. As I say, we have this rank card. You can download that. You can just write down your name, paste it. Have this wonderful target and work towards it. Rather than, yes, of course you do feel pressure. That's the practical problem we all face before exam. But remember, those who can control it, or those who can manage that stress and yet keep on sustaining their preparation. So as you progress towards the target, towards the exam, your preparation should be increasing. The duration has to be increasing drastically, right? So rather than declining, it has to be in a reverse phenomenon, right? So believe in yourself, you can do it, but don't take it as stress. Of course you feel stress, but find means to relieve yourself from stress. As I say, do things which you love. Take periodic breaks, listen to music, talk to your loved ones, look at the pictures or photographs of your loved ones, or interact with your friends and family. You feel relieved from stress to some extent, right? And ultimately, that should be channeled in a positive way. So you should have stress to limited extent so that you will stay focused and you will not get distracted. So it's like a necessary evil, isn't it? So make sure that you give your level best. Plan these 50 days properly, and assume that November 1st week should be your deadline, and from first week you can just, again, if at all based on the availability of time, you can go for grand tests, or you can practice as many MCQs as possible, only to increase your confidence, right? Final 1 month or 15-20 days, again we'll have a separate session. No new topics have to be started then, right? So if you feel like you're weak in a few topics or a few complex topics now, you can give it a try now, but not 1 month or 15-20 days before exam, right? So plan your revision properly, and for any guidance you can drop a mail at proudtobedentist@gmail.com. And ultimately, the purpose, if you achieve success, if you achieve a rank, it means you have survive the difficult task you have at hand. So it's all about survival of fittest, right? So take it in a positive way and give your best. And as I say always, the best comes to you. Give your best. Obviously, you'll have this balance. The best comes to you. It's not just about luck. So luck factors, they're all secondary. 5%, 10% doesn't matter. But 85, we all often complain saying that I'm not so lucky, I'm not so lucky to have this, to have that. But luck factor is secondary. But intrinsic motivation and the effort which you put in definitely contribute 80 to 90% of the output which you get from a particular task. So 80 to 90% is in your hands. So rest 5 to 10%, which is luck, which is not in your hands, just leave it. Okay. So this is what we wanted to discuss today, and I hope it's of some use. So wish you all the very best, and also our friends will also wish you all the best. Say all the best to everyone. So just nod your head as well as your hands. Okay, look at them. Say all the best. All the best. Right. What's the maximum time to be given to a subject at this end time? 2 days or 3 days, because we have, if you have like 22 or 23 subjects, right, depending upon the division, so 20 plus, so 2 to 3 days maximum. So we have designed our schedule keeping in mind the same. So we have allotted 2 or 3 days for each subject. I think 2 days, 2 complete days. So 2 to 3 days would be good, but depends, right? So if you have a tough subject, if you feel a subject is tough, you can vary slightly. But 2 to 3 days would be the maximum you can give for each subject. Right. So you're welcome, Bernice, Ashina, and I wish you all the very best, right? So we'll just break and we'll have a new updated session from next week, right? YouTube Live. So I'll update you regarding a next week's session today or at least by tomorrow, okay? Yeah. So have a great day, have a great Sunday. So we have a revision test for our regular batch. We'll be updating that soon, and complete of your weekly tests and any pending tests as fast as possible, and then carry on with the next week with a lot of positive energy, hope, and enthusiasm. Yeah. Bye. Have a nice day. Glad to hear that, Kanishka. Yeah. Bye. Good day.